the interest of the confessometer. The game had a series of supposedly really bad guys that you had a whole picture, and they were all, you had to get those guys brought back and put in jail. And the game basically kept track of how many of these different really bad guys that you had caught. And every time you had encountered one of them on your, it's like every so many levels, maybe it was every 2 or 3 days, I forget exactly the ratio of how often they would come out. But there would be this whole little upfront story to say such and such has escaped and they're going to be in this vehicle. And as you were driving around that particular day, you would go into an area that had to do with, there was always something about that criminal and the surrounding areas within that playfield that day where the two kind of, it made sense. And if you could capture that, and the way to capture these criminals is you basically had to catch them, catch up with them, and then you had to ram them off the road. Not just touch them like the quotas. You had to actually, and they would try hard to evade you. But once you did capture them and bring them back to the police station, the game would cut to a screen with, there's basically a stairs, it was kind of like a basement. So you'd have an overweight, hot-bellied police sergeant, and he was your timer, and he would start at the top of the stairs, and like you hear the door open, and then done, he'd be like, you see his belly bouncing, and he was your timer. And then there was a window that was kind of like, you could see silhouettes. So as the player, you'd see the confessor meter would come up, and then you would do the track and field timing of the buttons. And if you kept it in sync and kept the speed up, you could get the meter to reach confessor meter before the policeman, the chief, could get to the bottom. And the visual you saw was the police officer basically beating the crap out of the convict, trying to get him to confess. You kind of see him being held by the neck and a series of punching. It was very, very funny. One of Dan Van Elden had come into the lab, and he was looking at the game one day, and he was basically the man in charge, and he still is here at Atari. And maybe he had heard about something I had installed into the game, but we basically put in a 2-punch combination where it was not just into the upper body, but it was also into the lower body. And he made me take that out.